I, Senator Abubakar Atiku do hereby declare Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the presidential candidate of our party in the forthcoming 2023 presidential election.
And that was that grand announcement, no doubt. Well, former Lagos State Governor Bola Ahmed Tinubu took a major step toward his ambition of becoming Nigeria's president by winning the All Progressives Congress presidential primary at a special convention held at the Eagle Square in Abuja. He won the election by landslide after beating the likes of Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, former Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amici, and the Senate President Ahmed Lawan.
Now, Tinubu polled a total of 1,271 votes, more than 4 times the votes scored by his closest rival, Amechi, who had 316 votes. Osinbajo, Lawan, and Governor Yahaya Bello of Kogi State came behind the duo with 235, 152, and 47 votes, respectively. Now, we had more than 2,300 delegates who voted in the contest that produced Tinubu as the presidential flag bearer of the ruling party. Let's now bring in News Central's Amadine Uyi, who joins us live from Abuja, the nation's capital. Good morning, Amadine. Thank you very much for joining us. And well done on a job, and a fantastic job yesterday.
Good morning.
Good morning. All right, Amadine, let's go into it. It was indeed a marathon. Yesterday, you were on ground for over 24 hours with the APC convention, and finally, a winner has emerged. Walk us through the impressions with the entire process, and what is Abuja looking like this morning, the morning after the announcement?
Abuja is back to normal, back to usual, and the convention, a special convention, it held at the Eagle Square, which was at the center of the epicenter of the city center. At a point in time, because of the security, there was so much disruption to everyday activities. But as of today, the security, they've left the Eagle Square, and right now we'll be hoping that with time, everybody will return back to their normal duties.
Okay, Amadine. I mean, we saw viral clips from the venue suggesting that Ahmed Tinubu intentionally snubbed the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, after he was declared the winner. Help us make sense of actually what it really was and what transpired there.
First of all, I don't want to say I know what was going on in Tinubu's mind, but I would like to judge him by the speech he gave shortly after he was announced winner. It was more of like a unifying speech because he thanked the Vice President for providing stability to President Buhari's presidency. He thanked a lot of us thought there would be so much animosity between Tinubu's camp and the current APC national chairman. Because remember that the current APC national chairman tried to scuttle whatever Tinubu's ambition at the last minute by trying to insist that the consensus candidate would be the president of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan. So many of us thought that that was an attempt to smuggle Lawan through the back door. But he tried to, his speech was sort of more of like unifying the party. He thanked everybody, even the opposition and those that went up against him. So I would like to judge him by that speech because those who were on ground say that that was a well thought out speech because the speech he would have given would have determined the direction the party would go. Some were thinking that after the convention, there will be a lot of there will be sort of like a cold war within the APC because of the events that led to the convention and the efforts put by the national chairman. So I would like to judge Tinubu by that and not by his earlier move where he walked past the vice president, because at that point in time, there is still a probability that he was focused on President Buhari and did not look at the vice president.
All right. This has been quite an interesting one. And thank you very much, Amadine Uyi, for joining us. We hope that you're able to get some rest after being on your feet reporting for the past 24 hours.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, reactions have trailed Tinubu's announcement as the flag bearer of the APC for the 2023 polls, as many are questioning his state of health. To discuss further on this, we have political and public affairs analyst Dr. Nnaemeka Obiariri joining us. Good morning, Doctor. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
I think my first question to you, of course, would be what your reactions were yesterday. Did you see Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu emerging as the presidential flag bearer for the APC? And what were your reactions to that?
I'm so excited. I didn't see him coming, but it's all for good. You know, just like the epic movie, we are now faced with the choice of the good, the bad, and the ugly. So excited because what we have just seen pan out here is that the PDP, 750-something men, dollarized themselves and gave us who they wanted. The 2,300 and something APC delegates over-dollarized themselves and gave us what they wanted. So between less than 4,000 people, they've made their choices. Now, the choices now left is for the remaining 200 million Nigerians to let them know that the time is now. The ballot revolution is now. In fact, my fear was even that maybe some of those who have some semblance of, credibility, some semblance, 30% may have emerged. But clearly the APC and PDP have shown Nigerians they don't care about good governance. They don't care about the mood of the nation. They don't care about taking Nigeria to the league of the top 10 economies in the whole world. They are not looking at what's happening in Finland, in France, and all developed climes. They just want to take us back to the 18th century. I am so excited. In fact, when your guy called me this morning, I said, I am ready. I'm so excited. Let me tell you, what will happen in 2023 is going to be a mega ballot tsunami. And again, much credence and thanks to Muhammadu Buhari, the president of Nigeria. At least for the last 7 years, if there is one good thing, one excellent legacy is going to leave behind, that is assenting to the new electoral bill that will help us in no uncertain ways to limit some of the gaps that some of these political bandits have leveraged upon to perform their own shenanigans. You know, we'll go to the ballots, to the polling centers to vote. We will express our will. Then along the line are the ward collection centers, local government collection centers, state collection centers. They will rewrite the results to suit their own will and manufacture magic votes. This time around, it is not going to be the same thing. So excited. Good luck to APC. Good luck to PDP. The third option is here. P2B, the Labour Party, the Labour movement is here to deliver Nigerians. It's not just going to be him alone. Across all levels, from the State Assembly to the National Assembly to the state governorship positions, there is going to be mega tsunamis. I am so excited.
All right. I mean, you just mentioned Peter Obi, but I'm not sure if you are aware that this morning, as of this morning, there's a story that says that Peter Obi will no longer be the flag bearer of the Labour Party. As a matter of fact, let's quickly bring up the Punch newspaper on the screen and let's share with you that story as well, which clearly makes mention that that Peter Obi will no longer be the presidential aspirant there for the Labour Party. It says Peter Obi's ex-aide emerges Labour Party factional presidential candidate. What do you make out of this statement? Is it something that... Yes, go on.
Let me explain to you what's happening. Both the APC and the PDP are in a panic mode. Just like what happened in 1993. Remember, Abiola was the most popular. Abiola was a movement. Hope 93. Along the line, after he had won the election, they procured one Lord Atkins. You know the role Atkins they played, and the shenanigans like him in truncating. The military used him to truncate the will of Nigerians. For the first time in the history of Nigeria, somebody won across board. What happened in 1993 will not happen in 2022 or 23. Kalustu Soka, for whatever they call him, and whoever is this one that they are parading. And you can see, let me see, what you are seeing here is just the panic actions of the APC and PDP, sponsoring mayhem sponsoring division, sponsoring chaos in the name of getting alternative candidates. Let me tell you what they're trying to do. What they are trying to do is to discourage the third force, is to discourage the average Nigerian. But let me tell you, the more they come harder, the more Nigerians will vote.
Let's talk about this third force, Dr. Nemeka. Let's talk about this third force for a minute. What we're seeing here is, yes, there's been a lot of advocating for a third force. Do you think that, I'm asking if the Labour Party is indeed strong enough to be that third force? And why I'm asking is because what we see is that it's not individuals that win elections. It is political parties that win elections. And in the situation that we have at hand, the All Progressives Congress is the ruling party, has set in place structures. There have been arguments that even if the Labour Party were to win the presidency with Peter Obi emerging, in the House of Assembly and the Senate, the different arms were seeing that it's the ruling parties, the APC and the PDP, that still have representatives there. So what will be his success chances should that happen?
You see, there is something people have not seen coming. See, I am in tune with what is happening even to the grassroots. Let me tell you, Labour Party is a movement. I hope you remember that Emmanuel Macron, what happened in France. Just most recently, what happened in Zambia. When we talk about this, what is this structure we're talking about here? And what is this structure that the PDP and the APC have built upon? Let me give you a breakdown. In Nigeria, we have over 176,000 electoral polling booths. We have 8,809 electoral wards and 774 local government areas and 36 states plus FCT Abuja, 37. What the PDP and APC have been doing over the last 22 years is to have at least 10 polling agents in each of these 177,000 approximately polling booths and 8,809 electoral wards. Agents that have helped them over time, criminal agents, not agents who are just there to ensure that the right things are done, to carry ballot boxes, to rig election, to print or use ballot papers, and then to help ferry the papers to the collection centers where the result will be doctored, where they did not do well, even after all their shenanigans at the polling booths. The third force movement, see, this is the people's movement. If you watch the NSAS before it was sabotaged, you will have said it was organically grown. Go and mark it somewhere, put it on record. Labour Party will field candidates for House of Rep in all the 369 federal constituencies. Labour Party will field 109 senatorial candidates in the 109 senatorial zones. Labour Party will field 36 candidates for the 36 government positions in Nigeria. And don't make no mistake, Labour Party will have 10 polling booth agents minimum in each of the 176,000 electoral wards, electoral polling booths. Labour Party will have at least 5 agents each in each of the 8,809 electoral wards. Labour Party will have 5 agents each in each of the 774 local government areas. The same will happen in the states. People that will volunteer their monies, their legs, their strength. We talk about money. See, PDP and APC dollarize the election. Somebody told me, he said, how do you people think you can compete against somebody who claims almost about 120 billion naira annually from the state treasury by way of our shenanigans? I said 120 billion naira is less than $300 million. Nigerians in diaspora alone, we have them in NIDOA framework, NIDOA Europe, NIDOA America, NIDOA Asia are mobilizing. Okay. Let me tell you, we have not less than 1 million patriots in this country who are willing to stomp out funds. If you go, there's somebody like in Bauchi, in Benue, people printing posters, printing billboards, donating their houses, their offices as meeting centers. This is beyond Labour Party.
All right.
This is the mass movement of the people. I can tell you, if we do not reclaim Nigeria today, by 2023, I tell you, by 2024, if we allow any of these old political war horses to take over power, bandits will be coming to our homes to kidnap people for ransom.
Okay, Dr. Nemeka, I'd like to move further, talking about the will of the people. But before then, let's quickly talk about the fact that a tweet from the official Labour Party on Twitter debunked the report saying that Peter Obi remains the flag bearer of the party, while calling on its supporter to neglect the claims of Ezenwafo. We just thought to put that out there. Of course, we know that elections are coming. There will be several stories, rumors, back and forth, claims and debunking statements. But let's talk about the will of the people, right? And I'm talking about this because, of course, they say that the will of the people is the will of God. What we find is that the way to select a party's presidential candidate is either through direct primaries, indirect primaries, or a consensus. Would you say that, the indirect primaries, which is, of course, using the delegates, reflects the actual intentions of the people? Because, there were tweets, there were people talking about it on social media saying that the richest, the most viable career path right now is to become a delegate. Would you say that it genuinely reflects the intentions of the people, or shouldn't this be a time where we should probably consider going back to direct primaries?
Let me explain to you. There is a mistake we are making. The fight we are having today in Nigeria is the fight between the less than 500,000 elitist gangsters, those I classify as political bandits, who have created the field bandits and terrorists and unknown gunmen, against the 199.99 million Nigerians who are baying for salvation and to deliver themselves. Let me tell you, have you even bothered to ask yourself, how was even the delegate list concocted in the first place? Were there elections held at each electoral ward, local government areas, to pick genuine delegates based on the will of? No. Most of these delegates were lists compiled by either the party chieftain, the governor, or whoever is the topmost political party electoral officer within that area. They just elected their cronies, knowing fully well that they're going to have a dollar reign. Somebody asked a question for the APC that 288 people came, 285 delegates came from the Southeast. Yeah, they did not vote any of the Southeast candidates. I laughed. I said, those guys did not go to Abuja based on any ethnic or moral or value persuasions. Those guys went to Abuja just to make money, just to cream and to steal and to do whatever they want. And the highest bidders won. See, in America, we modeled our democracy after that of the US, presidential system of government. Whether it is the RNC or the DNC, it has always been direct primaries. Direct primaries are not the kind of one, not the gulag type of one, where somebody will go to a hotel room with the result sheet, and then the governor will, or whoever that has paid him highest will bring result sheets, and they will compile names and allot results to people. Direct primaries, where every registered member of the party, biometrically captured, just like we have our NIN and BVN, in such a way that you cannot doctor results. And the elections are electronically conducted. And that way you will get the will of the people. That was the only reason why an unknown first-time senator, Barack Obama, a black man for that matter, could rise up to win election in America, because he brought in a unique message, trying to appeal to the people on how he's the best to heal the racial divide and bring development into an already tanked economy. And the people came out overwhelmingly, bought the mandate, carried the mandate, and elected him. So in Nigeria, these guys know what to do. Have you bothered to ask yourself this question? Overwhelmingly, 98% of Nigerians want state police and regional security in such a way that the people can be able to domesticate and protect themselves. But the 369 people in the House of Rep and 109 people in Senate and the governors, they know the will of the people, but they are not doing it. Why are they not doing it? They are not doing it because they know that if they do the right things, the $26 billion that they've stolen over the last 7 years in the guise of fighting insecurity, the 10% of the FAC and JAC that the governor steal in terms of security votes will no longer be there if the whole place is secured. There will not be anything for them to steal those monies. So these guys do not care. They don't fear God. They don't fear man. They have no conscience. All they are after is what they will eat, kill, steal, and destroy, like their father Satan. So what is happening today is that the consciousness of the average Nigerians has been raised. Do you know that as of today, The usual culprits who people say because they don't vote, those in Aspamba, Alaba, and the other markets are closing shop today to get their members to register. And they have made a law. They have a good government. If you don't present your PVC, you cannot trade. Some churches, like House on the Rock, are setting up centers within their centers to get their members registered. Nigerians are tired. Let me tell you, the average, what has happened over the last 1 year has shown us that you can only be secured when you have good leadership. If the bandits can go to NTA, if the terrorists can hit Kaduna Airport, if they can hit military bases and destroy MRAPs and armored vehicles and kidnap generals, if they can go to police divisions and sack them, my brother, my sister, they can begin to go to high-brow areas, even with your 6 policemen, to shoot down people and kidnap them. So Nigerians have known that the only way we can retrieve this nation and save ourselves from the impending doom is to support. P2B is not a saint. He's not like the magical one, but he will give us at least a sense of direction. It will not take 1 year or 2 or 3 years, or even 4 years to repair the damage that have been collectively done to Nigeria by both the PDP and APC. And when you talk about PDP and APC, there are 2 fingers of the same person. Okay. The same band of bandits exchanging platforms. This time around, Nigerians are saying loudly and clearly, enough is enough.
Thank you so much for joining us, Nameka Berry. I mean, you're always on fire anytime we look at these very serious discussions concerning Nigerian politics. Thank you so much. We look forward to have you again as we discuss further on the latest developments concerning the Labour Party, the PDP, and of course the APC.
Thank you so much. Nigeria on the rise.